The true and thrilling story of Sadhu Sundar Singh, the Apostle of the Bleeding Heart. Sardar's passion for the cross. Sardar Singh has a passion for the cross of Christ. He comes from a well-to-do Singh family in the Punjab, and but for his being a Christian and a Sadhu, he would have inherited his thousands. The following two letters will show what he has given up, with what motives and in what spirit. The first is from his father, alluring Sundar away from his life of a Christian Sadhu, and the second is Sundar's reply to his father. Number 1. The father's letter. My dear son, the light of mine eyes, the comfort of my heart. May you live long. We are all quite well here, and hope the same for you. I do not now wait to ask you what you think, but I order you to get married immediately. Can you not serve your Guru Christ in a married state? Now, make haste and don't go on disappointing us. Does the Christian religion teach disobedience to parents? I do not know when I may pass away, but I do know that if you do not get married now, you never will after my death. You have gone mad. Just think for a moment, who will take care of so much property, or do you want to blot out the family name? If you get engaged today, I will bequeath to you the whole sum of money now in the 3 banks, the interest of which amounts to 300 to 400 rupees a month. Otherwise, you will lose what I have already reserved for you. It will be for your welfare if you take my advice and come home at once. Then everything will be properly settled. I am also a little indisposed. If you do not listen to my advice, I shall stop helping you from next month. I found out later that you gave away the 750 rupees to be the Christian. What a fool you are. You do neither feed nor dress yourself properly, but you give away what you have to other people. Wire reply, your loving father, signed S.S. Number 2. Sundar's reply. My dear and respected father, thank you very much for your kind letter regarding my engagement and marriage. I am always at your service and reckon it an honor to obey you and do your will, but I regret to say that I cannot and will not get married. You are my earthly father, but besides you I have another Father who is in heaven, and who is to be obeyed and served above everyone else. My Father has called me to serve him as a fakir. Footnote to the hearer. That is a person who lives on alms. End of footnote. And I must obey this call. If I get married, I shall not be able to do my duty, and the truth is that I have no great desire for money. As for your threats of disinheriting me, all I can say is that I was not hoping for any property or money when I became a Christian. I regarded it as a favor when at my baptism you left me alone, and when after some time you again started helping me, I was thankful. Now if you leave me again, I will not gainsay you, but will only thank you for what you do. You are wise and experienced, and can do what you like. As for me, having once put my hand to the plow, I will not look back. Your obedient son, Sardar Singh. This it is a real joy to him to suffer for the Master's sake. It is proved by the following testimony of one of his co-workers in the early part of his friar's life. His work has been far better than my own, and though he is scarcely more than a boy, he has suffered hunger, cold, sickness, and even imprisonment for his master. Before leaving him, I will tell of one thing which illustrates his saintly spirit and his fitness for the friar's life. We have been some hundreds of miles back into the interior, and had been forced to pass through some very unhealthy country. Sardar Singh was attacked by fever day after day, and also an acute indigestion. At length one night, as we were trudging along, he became so bad that he could no longer walk, and fell almost fainting on the road. Our way ran through the mountains, and there was a bank by the side of it. To this I dragged him, and set him against it in such a way that his head might be higher than his feet. He was trembling with the chill which precedes the fever, and his face was drawn with the pain caused by the stomach trouble. I was anxious because we were alone and on foot, and the weather was very cold. Bending close to his ear, I asked him how he was feeling. I knew that he would never complain, but I was unprepared for the answer which I received. He opened his eyes and smiled absently. Then, in a voice almost too low to be heard, said, "I am very happy. How sweet it is to suffer for his sake." This spirit is the keynote of his life and dominating influence in all that he does. And who can tell all the adversity Sundar has suffered for his master's sake? The reader will be able to form some idea of it by reading the succeeding chapters. The account of his labors for the Lord is best given in its original form, the unaffected simplicity of which reveals the earnest sincerity of the man. Writing some 3 years ago, 1917, he says, "I thank God that he has chosen unworthy me in the days of my youth, that I may spend the days of my strength in his service. Even before baptism, my prayer to God was that he may show me his ways, and so he who is the way, the truth, and the life did show himself to me, and called me to serve him as a Sadhu, and to preach his holy name. Now, although I have suffered hunger, thirst, cold, heat, imprisonment, malachination, body infirmities, persecution, and innumerable other evils, yet I thank and bless his holy name, that through his grace my heart is ever full of joy. And from my 10 years' experience, I can unhesitatingly say that the cross bears those who bear the cross. I take, O cross, thy shadow for my abiding place. I ask no other sunshine than the sunshine from his face. Content to let the world go by, to know nor gain nor loss. My sinful self, my only shame, my glory, all the cross."